A fun way to DM.
That'd be like, Jesus Christ.
DM on hard mode.
Yeah.
You good, Joe?
Yeah.
You sound
Are you
sniffly.
okay?
You do sound a little
Yeah.
sticky.
I am just getting my head out from the water from fucking washing my hair. So my nose is like slightly runny from super warm water.
Gotcha.
Understood. Okay, we have the thing.
All the weird
Open
shit
up
that
the
your body
notebook.
does.
Yeah.
Hot water. Mint toothpaste does that too, at least to me.
Really?
Yeah, like strong mint toothpaste.
What the fuck? That's just weird.
Your daily dose of TMI.
Okay.
We're off to Silverus's second country
Yes.
to go meet somebody who I have a strong suspicion. Well, I'm gonna keep that to myself in case other people don't have the strong suspicion. But somebody that sent her a letter. And Key is gonna tell Isul, confirm the suspicions at some point.
I think if there are no if no one is on the same boat here, someone has not been paying attention. Which I don't think anyone is not on this boat currently. Or, some could call it a ship, but...
However, Key was going to talk to Isul while on the way there, right?
Yeah, because Key overheard that Alter has the feelings.
GM.
And then decided that she needed to talk to Isul, though Isul does not fully know that she needs to talk to her.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, you can be jelly and not have feelings.
Alter's
Those
not
are
that
not
complex.
To be fair.
Okay, well, you guys got a little bit of time before you get there. Or if you guys don't want to do anything on the conversation, I will warp you to Nim.
Which one's Nim? Nim's the big one.
Nim is the big one.
Okay. That's up to Key. Key's got a...
Yeah, that is up to Key. Key has all the cards here.
But does she want to play them? I've had 2 weeks of thinking.
What has your thinking led you to?
Yeah, she'll talk to Isul. That would probably be smart, because friends or something like that. So probably when either at the beginning of the day kind of thing, when they're not camping or whatever, or when everyone's resting, so they could have a little bit of privacy, just a tiny little bit.
Talking about middle of the night resting or short rest resting?
Probably when they're setting up camp kind of thing, resting would be my thought. If we are camping.
It's bedtime. Well, we're traveling across the country.
Yeah. We're on a 2-3 week journey here.
Well, the point is she'd try and get Isul alone so that they're a little separated. Hey, Isul, you know that conversation that you and Alter were having when we first left?
I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little bit more specific.
Well, he said something about being jealous. I didn't mean to overhear it. You guys were just kind of talking.
Oh, yes.
He's not jealous anymore, though, right?
think he's trying not to be. Not fully certain as to why exactly he was jealous of Helen, but he's trying not to be.
Well, if he were jealous, he wouldn't do something like crazy, right?
Struggling to remember exactly how much Isul knew of the situation that Alter got himself into. I think it depends on your definition of crazy.
Mm.
I mean, from what I understand of the situation, did kind of start to piss off Clan Kyu, but don't know, I think it was just him not having an off filter on his mouth.
Mm. Oh, okay. Well, so, like, the reason why I ask is, well, Lord Rexton, who we're gonna be meeting, he and Sylvia were kind of close.
Close. Okay. I'm assuming close is an understatement for how concerned you seem to be.
Kind of sheepish smile.
Was this closeness official in any sort of way?
Kind of?
Oh boy.
There's not gonna be a problem, right? Like, I was kind of tempted to tell him, but I thought maybe talking to you would be smarter first, you know.
I think
What,
I think how well this goes depends on how he finds out. Ideally, your sister would actually tell him. Somehow I feel like that's going to be like pulling teeth from her.
nod.
Oh boy. Isol's just like kind of deflates for a second and is just like scratching her nose and looking back towards the camp, just staring. How do you think she would react if I just walked in and said that I knew?
I mean, she wouldn't have a problem. She said I could tell you guys, but I don't know. I feel like it defeats part of the purpose. But there's also a little bit more to the problem.
More? Okay.
Just teeny tiny thing.
The smaller you try to make something sound, the bigger I'm sure it is.
Well, I mean, when I said they were close, I mean were as in past tense. I don't know how things are going to change now, but yeah, it's not a thing anymore, from what I understand.
Was it something that ended before or after the two of you supposedly died?
After she died, but before we saw each other again.
So he's aware that she's alive then?
Nod.
Well, I suppose that solves one problem that I was worried about. Provides another one. I need to talk to your sister, I think.
I can go get her if you want.
That's probably a good idea. She's less likely to argue with you.
Oh, okay. Key's ears kind of twitch a little bit in nervousness, like, oh god, did I fuck up? But she goes and gets Sylvie.
Yes.
What is that yes to?
You know who.
No.
I was talking.
Oh,
like,
did
Keys
I
is like,
fuck up? Okay.
yeah, did I
Did
fuck
I
up?
fuck-
Boy, I hope I. Yes. Yes, you did.
No, she didn't fuck up. Not yet.
Hey, Sylvie. Are you busy?
Not particularly.
You mind coming over by the campfire for a bit? Just talk a little bit.
Sure, I was walking there anyway. Why do you look so suspicious?
Twitchy.
I'm not suspicious. What? Why would I be suspicious?
What's waiting at the fire?
It's just Isolde.
Is that all?
I mean, we didn't bring the pets with us, so I mean, maybe Savessa's there.
No, you're acting as if it's some big bad thing waiting for me there. No, it's just Isul. Is this you're sending me there, or are we both going?
I didn't ask.
You didn't ask. Wait, does Isul want to talk to me?
Yes, I think. Pretty sure.
What does she want to talk? Well, it's only one to find out. Alright. Last time I checked, I haven't stolen anything lately.
He is going to bring her emotional support animal with her. Stuffed animal.
Stuffed animal?
Just in case.
Alright. Yeah, so there's a walk to the fire. And plop down on, like, the log, I assume.
Isolde's just... Probably even when she was talking to Key, had started messing with some wire and stuff again. And she just kind of glances up at Silverus as she walks closer and gives a little nod and waits for her to sit down and settle. I think there's a little bit of clearing of the air that needs to be had regarding this Lord Rex.
Right. What about it?
From what I am gathering, though I'm not sure, not been told this directly, but assuming the two of you were betrothed at some point. Well, very nearly.
Silver's like stops and like just turns to look at Isul, turns to look at Key.
Key is looking very straight down at her stuffed animal, which is very cute and adorable, and is very interesting at this moment.
Cocks like an eyebrow up as she turns back to Issa. That's a weird ass reaction from Key, but she looks a little confused as she just like turns to Isul, just like, we weren't betrothed, but we did date for a bit, if that's what you're asking.
She nods. That was better than what she thought. And I have heard that it did not end very well. That's something we're going to need to be concerned about.
When things ended, it's not as if there was some big fight or anything like that.
Yet, but he does know that you're alive.
He is aware of that. We were involved after my family had left and gone into hiding.
And she kind of looks up from what she's working on and studies Silverus for a second. And I'm assuming she is, because she is not being evasive, is being pretty straightforward from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
When the two of you meet again, are either of you, I'm assuming not you, but are either of you going to potentially cause any issues because of this relationship?
I personally have no intentions of causing issues, and I will be on my best behavior. And as for him, well, from what I recall, he probably wouldn't. It's not in his character.
And
Then again, people change. I haven't seen him in nearly a decade, so for all we know, he could want to cause trouble.
decade? You're like in your
Nearly.
early 20s, right?
Oh yeah, she's 22. She said nearly.
So, this is like, oh boy. Okay. I was thinking this was more of an adult relationship. Nope.
Mm.
You see Isul doing the math that I just did in her head. In a slight tilt of the head. This wouldn't happen to have been your, like, first boyfriend or anything.
Why are you asking me these questions? What is with this fucking interrogation or something?
And Isul just runs her hand over her face. And you see her fingers move to her temple and just, like, massage it for a second. I am trying to cut off any problems before they might arise.
Well, if you need to know, the answer is yes. I don't really know what problems could occur from this. But if you also desperately need to know, the answer is yes. There.
Isul just gives her a very tired look. And then kind of glances around to make sure Helen and Alter are not anywhere nearby. And looks back. I'm going to put this very simply. So that you'll stop getting quite as annoyed and defensive about this.
Not defensive.
Oh, sure you're not. My brother has become very protective of you. Protective enough that he almost got in a fight with Helen, who has no relationship with you as far as I understand beyond friendship. The reemergence of an old love might cause issues, and thus I am asking so that I can understand.
I think you're overestimating things here.
My entire job has always been to look for the possibilities. That's what I'm doing right now. You might want to tell Alta about all of this before we get to Nim and meet this Lord Rex.
I suppose I could, but I don't really see the reason to. As long as it has anything to do with him. And I really do think you're reading too much into him being overprotective.
There's one
I
thing
already
I can
talked to him.
assure you, Silverus. So don't read too much into my brother. He's the one person I know better than anyone else on this planet.
Well, I can't exactly argue with that. You and your twin telepathy, magic, whatever the fuck you do have.
Get a little snort from Isla.
If you really want me to, I guess I could inform him, but again, I don't really see what this has to do with him or what good it would do. Again, we already talked about the issue he had with Helen, and it was over the game that we were playing. It's...
Isol's eyes just drift towards Key.
She gives a the shrug of like, what do I tell? Like, what am I supposed to say? But she understands.
You just get this, like, pinch at the bridge of her nose. In a Isul sighs. Let's just put it this way. Alta has a tendency to run off at the mouth, as we all know. And at least when he's prepared for something, he usually can find the off switch fairly quickly. When it comes out of nowhere, then that's usually when the issues arise. And if you are so reluctant to tell him, then Key or I can tell him.
I'm not reluctant to tell him.
Well, you're fighting it awfully hard.
Well, he has no reason to know. It's not like there's no reason to tell him, but if I must, then that's fine.
Isul will nod. And if Silverus does not immediately get up to go find Alter, she will get up to go find Alter.
So it's like, yeah, I'll tell him eventually. Wait, now?
Mm-hmm. So Isul just stands up and wanders off to go trace down her brother and shoo him back to the fire.
Unbelievable.
Alter's just like
Gathering
found a
firewood
nice
or something.
little. Yeah, you know what?
Toilet Helen.
He said that he would have gone to gather firewood, and he would go and gather some, and then after a certain point, kind of wander around. He still has a little bundle with him, but he really likes to wander and just lazily stroll about. And at some point, if there was any sort of nature or tree to sit underneath and enjoy the cool air and well, not shade. I imagine it's probably close to dusk, but whatever. Just sit under a tree and relax. That is like his happy place.
Isil will gather the help of Saveth to go sniff out Alter. Doesn't try to hide as she's approaching, and you just get, brother.
Oh no. Who died?
No one.
Yet.
Well, that's always a possibility, but Silvers does need to talk to you.
He immediately goes from joking to like serious. Did something happen?
Not really, but she does need to talk to you. And you do need to eventually bring that bundle of firewood back to the camp.
I was working on it. I was making my way back around. I was doing a lap.
Yes. Sitting on your ass is definitely working on it.
Flips her the bird. Fine, I'll go talk to Silvers. This isn't... He turns around, like, slowly to face his sister and goes, this isn't about something I did that I didn't realize came off in a way and now we have to circle back around to.
No. It's simply some information that Silvers needs to share so that everybody's prepared for when we get to them.
And I suppose she just told everyone but me as of now. This isn't like a thing that everyone knew and then me. Right?
Well, I mean, Key knows because she's her sister, and I know because
Key knows
I figured
everything.
it
She
out.
doesn't count. You figured it out.
Key and I have been talking.
Just narrows his eyes. I don't like that. What have you been talking about? What have you told her? Are you corrupting her?
She just, gives Alter this look. It's like, me corrupting somebody?
Well, listen. If, of the two of them, one of them could be corrupted, and of the two of us, who could be doing the corrupting, it
It's
would be
always you.
Key and you. It is not me. I've never corrupted anything.
That's a lie.
Points to your sword.
Hides the sword behind him. Just immediately fine, I'll go talk to Silvers. And then I'm going to talk to Key and figure out what you've been telling her and filling her head with. And I will undo whatever damage you've done or started to do.
You're awfully concerned about whatever I'm talking to Key about.
Well, in truth, no. But maybe a little.
She is
I-
practically a child, Alta.
She is devious, is what she is. The young ones always get away with so much more shit because everyone thinks that they're capable of nothing cruel or devious. But she is.
You really think
I
I'm going
watched
to
her
be
do
the
it.
type of person to let that happen?
You didn't even see it coming. Did you see what she did to the... Just throws his hands up. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go talk to Silvers. But you're certain it's not like a pressing issue? This isn't like a thing?
Thing is not a very descriptive term, Alta. Everything is a thing.
He holds up his finger to protest for a second and then just... You know what? You're right. I'm just going to go. And he starts walking away with his little bundle of sticks.
Isil follows a couple yards behind, picking up more sticks and branches and shit that Alter's just apparently ignoring, so that there's a proper bundle.
I guess he'll go find Silverus.
Currently sitting at the campfire with Key.
And
Just scroll
Helen
up.
apparently being nosy.
Yeah.
So just like stops at like the edge of the clearing, looks at Helen, looks at Silverus, and then just like shrugs. Like, well, he invited himself. If Silverus wants him away, she'll just kick him out. Helen is her problem.
One would fucking think. One would think. Alter will walk up, and Helen is Helen with Key at the fire and also
Yes.
with Silverus? Okay.
I
all
imagine
chilling.
Silverus was paying attention to Helen and Key. Like, what the fuck are they whispering about? Not even noticing Isul and Alter arriving.
Alter walks up, plops his bundle of firewood right next to like a little clearing near the fire pit, and then we'll put one hand on his hip, like kind of placed above the hilt of his sword, and then look at Silverus and say, "Well, I was told that you had some thing to share with the class, but apparently I'm the last to know."
What? What do you...
So we'll walk past him to drop her firewood off and like smack him in the back of the knee with like one
Ow!
branch. Sit down. Act like you have some
Fine.
manners.
I have manners, he says, sitting down. But yes, apparently there's something I should know about where we're going, that you were you apparently told everyone or something.
It's not like there was some announcement or anything. And I did not realize she was going to collect you right now.
If I didn't collect him right now, you were going to sit there in Hymn Hall for the next 3 days, and then we would be in the city and it'd be too late.
I was not going to him and Hall. I was going to enjoy the evening with my sister. Looks over to Key, whispering with Helen.
You can't use Key as your defense
Alter.
all the time.
What's Key doing?
Key's ears perked up when Silverus said her name, and she turned a bit. Then Isul commented, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I'm in trouble." Hey,
Not
Helen.
not using her as a defense.
No, you are using her as a defense quite often.
One of it
Alter
is
looking at
just-
Key and then points 2 fingers at his eyes and then points 2 fingers at Key.
Nervous smile.
Regardless of who's doing what, just tell me what I need to know. What is this? Like, why? If I had to know right away, why are you not telling me right away?
You don't have to know anything. In fact, it's not pressing at all. There's no reason for him to even know.
Isol's like eyes just widen ever so slightly and get that slight tilt of the head that is the 100% expression of like, bitch, please.
Alter just raises an eyebrow like, okay, I have no idea what's going on here, but I'd like to know now.
It's not about Nim, it's about Lord Rex.
Lord Rex, the guy who wrote the letter?
You know, I don't think we have enough firewood.
Alright, I'll tell him.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I got so much firewood. And he points to the pile.
Most of that was mine, Alta, but since Silverus won't tell you, I'll tell you instead. She...
No. Just. I'm going to get more firewood. You know what, Alta? I can't carry it. Come with me. We're going to get more firewood.
You know, I'm just going to quiz him when you get back to make sure you actually told him.
You know what? If it's something he needs to know and needs to be quizzed on, it's not. Anyway, let's go.
Alter gets up and he's just like looking at the firewood pile and looking at Isul and looking at Key, and then
You're not looking at Key. There's nothing there.
looks up to where Key was, and then is just like, the fuck did I? And then noticing that she's gone now, confirms his suspicion to him that this is somehow related to her and her shenanigans again.
He has not done. Okay, no, she's done a couple, but one
No,
shenanigan.
It's too late. Alter has attributed this to you. The tally has gone up.
To be fair, this is attributed to Key.
She was trying to be a good bee. Damn it.
No. You're right. She was being a good bean. However, technically, this is attributed. She did cause this, technically.
It's,
But no, Silver's isn't looking away. She's like, "Fuck! There's too many fucking people here."
Well, 2 of them just disappeared.
Oh yeah, but she
Alter's-
wasn't looking at them.
Alter is following Silvers though, and just with his hands behind his head, kind of chilling. More firewood.
It's
Like we're trying to
more
burn a body, I swear.
But no, you can't help being more prepared. You never know.
Mhm. He says with the suspicion as he looks over his shoulder and scans the horizon for Key. So what was this about?
Silver just rolls her eyes and just like, "Your sister reading into things is what this is about."
My sister reading things.
She figured something out. It's not like as if I was hiding it or anything. But she insisted I have to tell you.
She figured something out about what exactly? Pointedly not looking at Silverus, just now he is looking just away.
It's about Lord Tardy that we're meeting. Something she figured out.
Okay. Did she figure out some shit about him? I'm trying to figure out what my sister could figure out. I assume it's something to do with him being secretly a prick or something. It wouldn't surprise me. No offense. Not to say that you, like, aren't a good read of character, but I kind of expect certain royals and rich people to just secretly be pricks to some degree.
Right, well, some people certainly think that about him.
Alter just thinking now to himself.
Right, well, your sister figured out. I don't really know how she did. But for some reason, she thinks that I must tell you because it's oh so important for you to know. But Lord Tardy and I are familiar with each other. And we used to be involved.
Stops walking. Wait. Hold on for a second. You're... You used to?
Yes.
And was this used to before the whole... Does, like, the little finger motion of someone running away?
Well, after.
So you... you were involved with him. And just to be perfectly clear, you don't mean like he was your accountant or some sort of instructor of some kind.
No, we used to date.
Well, I see.
Again, I'm not really sure why your sister insists I must tell you. It's not as if it's important at all.
Oh, I... like, puts his hands on his hips and kind of kicks a little bit of... Is there snow on the ground?
Piper?
Or, like... For some reason I imagine there's snow on the ground. I don't know if that's true.
No.
Okay, yeah. He, like, puts his hands on his hips and does a little, like, shuffle his stance a little bit, kicks some dirt, and just shakes his head and just goes, yeah, I can't see why there was a rush for me to know this either. Just, it's not like it affects anything, of course.
No, I'm going to be as cordial as possible, considering. Not to mention, I haven't exactly seen or heard from him in 7 years, so.
And in those 7 years, you how did he sent you a letter? He was the one who sent the letter at the... How did you want to hear from him in that time?
In the past 7 years?
I would assume so, of course. I assume you didn't leave on, well, unfriendly terms, right? This isn't like a leave in a fiery breakup or anything. Not that I'm trying to reopen old wounds, if there are any.
I can assure you there was no fiery breakup of sorts at all.
Just opens his mouth to say something and then closes his mouth and just nods understandingly. Well, that is good to know. And I suppose you did want to hear from him in that time, as given that there was no, well, fallout, it sounds.
Maybe at first I wanted to, but honestly, no. Don't want to hear from him at all.
May I ask why? if you parted on decent terms and were together how long? I don't think he's mentioned.
We were together for, what, a year and a half, 2 years? But we did not part on good terms. We just parted.
Ah. But you don't want to hear from him. Right, sorry. And why would you not want to, I suppose, reconnect?
Why on earth would I want to reconnect with someone who wants nothing to fucking do with me?
Oh. Well, I'm not going to speak on behalf of this man I've never met, but how do you know he doesn't want anything to do with you? He did write you a letter, and, well,
Yes, he wrote a letter, all right.
did you tell him when you were running away what your plan was? Or did you just go?
I didn't need to tell him. There was no... Well, there was no need to inform him of anything. And he's very good at writing letters, I know that much.
Well, I...
Sorry, I forgot the question. What did you ask?
Well, more just wondering if you were in hiding and he wasn't with you, how would he know how to contact you in any way? Or if he did know where you were and where you were hiding, did he choose not to contact you? Till now?
It's a bit more simpler and both complicated at the same time. Look, essentially, we were involved. There was no need to inform him of anything. He was already aware. The Tardy and the our families were allies for a very long time. There was no need to inform them since they were already aware of the situation. And he... You know, it doesn't really matter. Why am I even... It doesn't really matter who... He cut contact with me.
May I ask why?
I don't fucking know. You'd think he would tell me why, but no. He didn't. He just cut contact. Very hastily written. No explanation, no rhyme or reason. And so I haven't heard from him in 7 years.
Can
So
I
now...
roll an insight check on Silverus?
Good.
I want to know if there's any lingering emotion there for this person, because he's getting heated, and that's something Alter recognizes. He's so not good at insight.
Ooh. There certainly are emotions of some sort. lot of different emotions there.
Anger and
Most of
annoyance
them
is
anger.
anger
Well.
and annoyance is at the top of the list.
Anger and annoyance and pettiness. And like, why am I even still being so like, why am I beating around the bush? It doesn't matter who broke up with who. Right? No, that doesn't fucking matter. We split. That's all that matters.
Alter will. He has one other question. Unless Silverus was going to go on.
No, you can cut her off.
He would not cut her off, which is why I say that.
Oh no, as in like she probably cut herself off. Of just like doesn't fucking
Mhm.
matter.
So, just, I guess, just to ask again, you don't have any feelings for him, do you?
Most of the feelings I have for him are wanting to stab him, but I'm going to be on my best behavior. But it's more complicated than that.
This is just for my own sake.
Mhm.
Alter just narrows his eyes and then nods to himself and says, "Right. Well, I will rest assured, if he turns out to be a rich prick like I would imagine, then, well, you obviously have all of us at your back, and Helen."
Alright. 7 years changes people. He might very well be just some rich prick that I can punch if I see him.
He looks down and is just kind of scanning the ground. Well, thank you for, I suppose, humoring my sister and telling me whatever she felt I needed to know. Of course, I was not in any way entitled to that information.
Well, if it will make this investigation go more smoother, feel free to ask any questions. I want this mission over with.
Alter
We
nods.
have very important people to find.
Yes, the
Venlin.
Vendris Venlin?
Venlin.
Guess I do have one more question, not related to Rex, but this other
Lord
family.
Todd, don't call him Rex.
Well,
He would enjoy it.
in all fairness, I'm certainly not going to call him by his lordly name. but-
Fair enough.
Regardless, this other family, did you... And correct me or not, above table,
Mhm.
he still does not know anything about her tie to this family.
She would have been dropping hints left, right, and center.
He's not paying attention to the hints. he's
Okay.
he's got one question to ask related to it.
That's
So
the
it hasn't been
Azul thing.
Yeah.
Azul picks up on the hints.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he like is now he has picked up a new, I don't want to call it a nervous tick, but he thumbs the edge of the sword at his side, like the hilt, where you can hear the as he's pushing it with his thumb. And he says, "This other family, is there anyone in that family you have a history with either?"
Yes, I suppose. In some way. Sort of.
Ah,
Not not in the same way, but it's
not in the same way?
I don't know how to answer that question.
He just waves his hand and just goes, just to, I'm going to pull the veil on this a little bit, because it's starting to confuse me. You were romantically involved with this one Rex guy, but were you romantically involved with anyone from this other family as well?
No, jeez, no.
Well, okay then. Not bad, huh?
Look, it's just very important that we find them and get them back home safe and sound.
He narrows his eyes for a second, and then nods. Right. Well, I thank you again.
Don't know what you're thanking me for, but we should probably get back.
You feel free to head back. I'll collect more firewood for a little bit longer, if you don't mind.
We don't actually need firewood. You got more than enough.
He shrugs and just goes, I know.
Are you? Oh, I'll just go.
Like he won't stop her.
She'd probably hesitate for a second, and then she'd go. Once she starts walking, just go back.
The second she
Okay.
starts, like after the pause and the walk away, there's just a really limp wave from Alter to her back, and then he'll wander around for another 10 to 15 minutes
Mm,
and collect firewood.
You have so much firewood.
Silverus makes it to camp without Alter, and he's more than a minute or two behind her. He's still gonna go after her.
He went right back to the spot where you found him initially, to the tree, and there's a stack of wood behind or beside him.
Is he sat down again?
Yep.
She will kind of pause and take him in for a second, and then just sit down.
Well, I can see why you more or less forced her hand on the issue.
I thought it would be wise. A little bit of forewarning.
It's good to know. It's worth noting that Alter is not smiling.
And are you okay?
Shrugs. Eh, why wouldn't I be?
Because you're not being the usual annoying ass.
Well, I did have to go get 2 sets of firewood. He looks at her.
I did
For no
not
reason.
make her go collect firewood.
You, well, listen. You put, in the moment, I did not understand what was being impressed upon her, but it's very clear she did not want a crowd, and I can understand why. So her buckling under the pressure to go get more wood and dragging my happy ass along to pick it up for her, or with her, is a reasonable excuse. But I blame you for that decision making. He crosses his arms.
Eye roll.
But that aside, I think he shakes his head and just shrugs. I really think that there might be something still there that is, well, he just kind of shrugs. It was different with Helen, I suppose.
Because there's nothing really there.
All of that heated frustration at all of his shows of exorbitant wealth or success or whatever. It is frustrating. Because I thought, for one, it might work, and 2, that there was still more of a chance for me, but now in this situation, I don't think there is.
And she kind of
Starting the race with someone next to you is one thing. Starting the race with someone who's already finished a lap is another. If you'll allow me such a, well,
Have you considered what I suggested at all?
no, I forgot what you suggested.
It's just a slow breath in.
At least I'm honest.
But if you can't find the words when you're saying them, you just write them down.
I did take that into account.
Hey.
He,
Okay, go on.
yeah, he, like, from the side pouch of his belt, he will pull out the little notebook he has and just tap a finger on it. I was daydreaming of what I could write, really, and, well, then you came to get me to get her, to get me to get more firewood. Not that I was inspired in that moment, but I was really close. And then you had to go and fuck it all up.
Isul just does not seem to even, like, pay any attention to the accusations that are being hurled at her. It just, like, stares at the notebook for a second. Can you take another little piece of advice from your sister?
Did she ask, will you take a little bit of advice?
Yeah.
He, like, turns and very, very quickly and very earnestly will just nod his head, like, of course. You're not allowed to tell anyone, but I will.
I'm probably the last one who should ever even try to advise you on things like this. No experience with anything like this, but from the outside, looking in at the very least, I know that you have feelings for her, at least the start of feelings, and I have no doubt that she has those similar feelings on her behalf. She's different around you. Even if this Lord Rex has a history with her, and even if it's something that she does want to rekindle, you owe it to yourself to at least let her know how you feel, even if it doesn't go anywhere. And to some degree, she probably deserves that much as well.
Huh. This whole thing is just... Alright, Bess, really. It'd be so much easier to just learn something difficult, like how to use a shield, or what it's like to wear armor. But no, you have to learn how to deal with interpersonal relationships and ugh, romance.
Get a small laugh from Isul. She shakes her head. Well, at least it's better than sticking around long enough for our parents to marry you off to God knows who.
That is true. I don't know if you ever met some of the women that they toted me around, but it wasn't... Well, it was not a flattering selection.
Didn't meet all of them, but I did break one of their feet.
Snorts.
She just kind of shrugs a little bit. Well, she started bragging about trying to date you, and had quite a mouth on her.
She bragged about dating me?
Yes, I don't believe
But
you
I
actually
was-
did. I think she just had a lunch with you or something.
This is exactly, she never actually did. What a liar. I'm glad she's broken her foot.
I'm sorry that I forced the conversation the way I did. But
No, it's...
I still want to make sure that you... that you have all the information you need when you need it.
I think you are right to do it. At least for me. I can't speak for whether or not Silvers will say the same, but I feel a lot better knowing that it was her saying it to me, rather than you saying it and doing so without, I guess, her approval or behind her back or something. Just to risk more potential fallout from within.
And
In the moment, it's just a sore spot, which, well, Silvers is thick skinned. She'll get over it.
Isul nods slightly. And I'm just reconfirming this with Iris. Because I'm trying to remember what the conversation was. that Key and Isul had last time. Isul pieced together the Vinlands pretty much, right? Feel like she did.
Iris, are you here?
Iris,
Iris!
if you're here, you're muted. Piper?
I imagine she just walked away. That's always what happens. Oh,
Hello?
Hey!
Hi,
there
you
we
know.
go.
No, I wasn't muted. My mic wasn't working.
oh,
Wow.
okay. We hear you now.
Yeah, she pieced that together.
Okay. So, Isul will just kind of lean back against the tree and kind of stretches her arms for a second and examining her claws and the bits and pieces of her armor that she's wearing. There is something else that you do need to know, Alta. Might give you a little bit more context to what we're walking into, and it's something I don't think I could force Silvers to tell you. She hasn't even told me, I've just figured it out.
He just waves a hand and, like, feeling confident in the moment, and just goes, "Oh, that she was involved with the Venlin family or whatever too."
She is a Vinland.
Blinks for a second and turns to look at Isul. Oh, that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking.
She's like, looks at him, blinks, and starts to piece together whatever he was thinking, and then his facepalm.
No, it made sense in the moment.
There's something close to a laugh. And she just shakes her head again. Talking to Key and trying to figure out exactly why Silvers was so antsy about all of this. And I am almost 100% certain because Key didn't want to say it outright either, but this family that we're going to go and try and find, the one that is possibly in danger, is
It's her
Silvers's.
family. Well, shit.
It makes everything make a little bit more sense, doesn't it?
It does. It does make a lot more sense.
Still not fully certain as to why they are so nervous about saying that out loud, even with how much we know about them at this point and how much they know about us. But I imagine, in general, all of this is going to be a time of relatively high emotion for both Silvers and Key.
I imagine you're right. Well, I'm glad you told me that part too. And don't let it go to your head, but once again, I think you made the right call. I will tell you, well, you know that I'm not a great liar. I get through most of my falsehoods by just being a bit of a snark about it. If Silvers asks if I actually know, I'll dodge around the questions as much as I can, but if it comes down to it and there's no way out, I will tell her. But I just hope it doesn't have to come to that too soon, because I hope she doesn't get put off by us knowing.
I think she wants to tell us, or at least some part of her wants to. She's mentioned it in a roundabout way once or twice, while we've been traveling. So I don't think she'll be upset, per se. And even if she does ask you, just tell her I figured it out. I think she's starting to figure out that I watch and listen a little bit more than she anticipates.
Nods. He nods, but very clearly, like, he only half heard what you said. Like you mentioned, yeah, she kind of wants to tell us, but hasn't really done so. She's kind of evasive about it, and then immediately just fell off the wagon. You've seen that look on his face before, where some part of a thought had distracted him, and now he's on a different train of thought.
She'll let him run down that path for a second before she just kind of like leans forward, like into his eyesight again. Care to share?
Oh, well, I agree with you. That's all.
Of course. There is another small detail that is less a concern to them and more concern to us. There is no guaranteeing this, of course, but if there is dealings with this uncle of hers and our family, and trouble with this uncle that is arising, of course we don't know if that's the issue, but if it is, there is still a possibility that at least some of the outliers of the family will be there.
Oh, well, that'll be fun to deal with.
Are you
Oh,
ready to deal with that should it arise?
the outliers, yes. Parents, no. But cousins, uncles, the extended bunch. I think I could, well, bash my way through a couple of social interactions with them, or just bash them in the head. It really depends on the situation. If it's a black tie event, I will endeavor not to get my shirt stained.
Get a little snort. Yes, well, if it's a situation like that, ideally I'll figure out how to get them out of the castle or the palace or the ballroom or wherever it is before they cause any trouble of any sort. Anyway.
Oh, we'll just have to hope that it doesn't come down to a volatile halfway family funeral. We've already got enough drama with one of us and one of our families. And I'm only just finding out about that part. Whenever this whole truth comes out, I'm going to hold this over her head.
Little smile, nod. I think that might actually be fair. Do you still need a few minutes?
No, I think I'm mostly in my right head now. I'll come back and, well, at the very least, use all of this firewood that I brought. I'm going to make the fire uncomfortably warm for at least 40 minutes.
I think that's something you'll need to warn them about, not so much me.
Right, but suppose if there's nothing else, we should be going.
So we'll nod and kind of stand up and then wait for Alter to stand up, and then catch his elbow once he's gathered all of his shit. Just give his elbow a little squeeze. New things all strange and fucked up in ways that I don't think either of us intended or anticipated. But you'll figure it out.
He nods. And he will, in like a similar gesture of reciprocity, like twist his arm around so that it wraps back around, and they kind of have like twisted forearms, and he'll clasp her wrist in like the forearm handshake, but with their side to like right arm and left arm.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll give her a similar little squeeze and be like, yes, we'll figure it out. This is, for all its complexities and bullshittery, worth figuring out compared to back home, where it was, well, you know.
There's a little nod, and another squeeze before she kind of lets go and steps away to lead the way back to camp.
An altar will follow.
Hi, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy.
Mandy, hi.
Hi, Mandy. We can't
Piper's-
speak loudly. We'll
Piper's-
startle her.
Piper is currently AFK, so do y'all want to update Mandy on what's going on?
I sent her like a 1-sentence, very short
Yeah.
synopsis.
I know, like, the very vague.
We're traveling to Silverus's not homeland, but hiding country, because somebody who we figured out is an old boyfriend of hers sent her a letter saying that he thinks that her family is in danger and wanted to hire the guild. And we met a weird syndicate, but we managed to get by without any issues. And then Isul and Key have talked several times for Isul to figure shit out about Silverus. And then she forced Silverus to tell Alter about old boyfriend.
Mm.
And then she told Alter about the Vinlands.
Y'all thought Alter was going to be a huge bastard the whole time, didn't you?
No,
Well, I actually haven't met him yet. He might
we
still be a
haven't-
huge
We
bastard.
haven't met him yet, and he's caused so much drama already.
True.
I was not expecting Alter to be a bastard. I was expecting Alter to eventually put 2 and 2 together and then spout some shit off on a knee-jerk reaction because he was not prepared. And then cause issues because of that. It was not like, oh, you're just gonna be a jerk for like 3 weeks while we're having to deal with him. No, it's gonna be like, you're gonna say some dumb shit in the 30 minutes after you figure it out before you have time to process.
Alter
Yeah.
is very clear at this point. The type of person Alter is.
So Isul's
I
like,
was
we're
anticipating everyone
gonna
to be like,
we're gonna warn you ahead of time so you can get your head around this, and that off switch is a little easier to reach.
I thought the anticipation was like, oh, okay, we have to give him a heads up so he doesn't put his foot in his mouth by being like snarky and constantly passive aggressive with this dude, and it's like not so much that, so much as it's get ahead of the issue for a second.
Alter, when
But-
he's prepared for a situation, can usually handle it okay. It's when he gets tossed in out of nowhere that he starts having issues.
And like he's gonna be snarky regardless. It's just the level of snark.
That's part of who he is.
Okay. Anybody else got some late night role?
I think it's time to step foot in Nim.
Okay, seems that way. So, I'm just gonna march you guys over here. So, Eastat, where you were from, Eastat was pretty chaotic place. Was where a bunch of nationalities began to clash, where people from the ocean gathered, where people from Gao came to sell their wares. My mouse is acting really strange. Hang on. Why? What the fuck is going on? I go to move the token up, and it moves my camera down. Hang on.
We're going all over the map, guys.
Goddamn, world tour, let's
We're
go!
teleporting.
We're gonna pick up all the goods from all of the major cities before we hit them.
Okay. See, it's doing it again. What the fuck?
One more square up. Just one more square up, and then you can leave it.
See, now I know if I need to move the token up, I move down and to the left. That's what I do.
What the fuck?
It's still doing it. And I'm not even...
Are you
whatever.
sure your
Just
mouse is
hold-
not upside down?
Actually. No. I did check. I did check.
You
Okay.
didn't
I was-
turn on, like, reverse mouse.
Gonna
right?
die if that ended up being the answer and you did not realize.
Especially since she's using an ergonomic mouse, so it's like
Yeah.
like
You didn't
really
turn on
awkwardly
reverse
positioned.
Y-axis, did you?
You could tell that the city of Nim has a lot more order, but it is also like twice the size of the city that you guys have been calling home, with a population of at least 500,000. You got think like Bossing Say size,
Oof.
or half like
Nice.
half of Bossing thing. There we go,
Boss.
Bossing Say.
Is it built like Bossing Say too? It is!
Hey.
Kind of. So Silvers takes you in through the rightmost gate right here. And the buildings, despite being a lot larger and the people a lot more numerous, they have been placed in a way that allows you free access onto any street. The buildings are nice and neatly ordered in a grid-like system, with a clear river running down the middle. And I doubt Silvers wants to show you around because things are in danger.
I just realized something.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, let me look at this again.
If you want to give an introduction to your city, feel free.
No. Go ahead. I just might have noticed a little detail.
Do tell.
Share with the class.
Just one second, I want to double check that I'm right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, no. So once Silvers gets into the city, she immediately starts leading them. With purpose, right?
Mhm.
However, a little detail in the formal contract offer, Rexton did not list a meeting place.
He did not. That's very true.
He did not list a meeting place or where to meet him at all. But Silvers immediately starts marching the party through. So, but sorry, that's a detail I noticed. Go ahead with the description of the area.
So she takes you first to the marketplace, which is very, very large. I can't begin to describe how large it is and how chock full, almost completely packed with stalls this place is.
Mall of America.
Yeah, it's like Mall of Nimica. But she takes you down to a nearby house. It's a small, quaint little thing. It's about 2 stories wide. Where is... You can place your characters here.
Yes, she moves with purpose, probably taking like back alleys and shortcuts.
I think I tried to send that picture to Joe for a possible altar at some point.
You sure did.
Huh.
There aren't many options for Aura fan art. Specifically, Aura male fan art.
Fuck off, Key. I took this spot.
Technically, you took the spot I was gonna go to, and now suddenly you're complaining. Okay.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
positioning my token.
You know what? No. He's small enough.
As we're walking towards the house, Alter and Key are just fighting.
Fighting.
I know what you did, you little bunny.
He would at some point have like used message on Key when she's least expecting it, and been like, "I know what you did."
I'm on to you, rabbit.
What? I didn't do anything.
Liar.
As Silverus approaches the familiar door to her house, you see that there is a woman standing by the door. A medium-sized Elzen-looking woman with this pale white skin and what appears to be a servant's outfit. And as you approach her, her eyes are closed, but as you get closer, she opens them to look at the lot of you.
Quick question.
Yeah.
You said medium, but she's Ellison. So does that mean she's...
Still taller than most of you, yes.
Yeah, okay. So she's tall for a human.
Yeah, tall for a
Okay.
human, small for an Ellison.
Yeah, okay.
What's the height on her?
Like 6'2".
Silver's is an inch taller.
So yeah, she begins to regard each of you with her eyes, first looking to the small Key, then the altar, then to Isul. When she looks at Silverus, she gives just the slightest of curtsies. Welcome home, Mistress Silverus.
Thank you. Guess who are you? And don't call me that.
Would you prefer Sylvia? I am in the employ of Lord Rex. He was waiting for you. She steps aside and she holds the door open for you.
Here, you can go into your own house.
Yeah, well, she's nice.
Yeah. It's my own fucking house.
I hope you knew that we're not going
Yeah,
to
no,
start
she's stiffening.
cutscening to you.
Fucking call. Would you prefer Sylvia? She fucking stiffens. Oh man. But no, Silver's will walk up and just. I prefer it if you just called me Silverus, and thank you for welcoming me into my own house.
It's my pleasure.
Unbelievable. Let's go.
Can't fucking believe this place. Look at that.
She's having Silver's already start mumbling. Soul's like at the back of the pack, just like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Okay.
Rubbing Sylvie's hand.
Clutch hand, and squeeze hard.
Making
hard
your
to-
way into the living room, the lot of you catch a tall Elzen male sitting on a chair, approximately 7'4" in height,
Jesus Christ.
With-
What the fuck?
with medium-sized blonde hair and a nice regal brown coat. As he takes note of you, his eyes seem to light up a bit, and he stands up coughing. It it's good to see you again, Sylvie. It's been quite a while, huh?
Wait, did you say Elizin, man?
No, Aura.
Okay.
You did say Elizin, though.
Did I? I
Yeah.
meant Aura.
I was about to say, like, fuck. Okay.
No, he is an Aura.
I feel like
And he's-
Ora is more of a fuck than Ellison.
Yeah, it is.
Is it a coincidence?
Ah, and little Key.
She has
He
a
goes
type.
over. Yeah, as he spots Key, he goes over and he just gives her a big hug.
It's good to see you too, Lord Exton.
Oh, it's been so long.
She gives him a big hug back.
It's at this point that I remember that I made Alter very short for an aura.
Cecil like steps in, like is like hanging out in the back. Finally gets a look at Rex from around Alter, and there's a very distinct double take. But she keeps her mouth shut.
Alter sees him and his mouth is open.
Just little
He
poke in the
looks
side.
He looks to Silverus and he goes, I messaged you the second I found out something was wrong. I hope your travels weren't too rough because of that.
We handle our travels just fine.
He blinks.
No, what have you found out already? Let's get to work.
Right. Well, I did my best to preserve the house to the best of my ability, though I did do some thorough investigation.
What have you already investigated?
All of them. I tried not to touch too much.
I'm sorry, did you say all of the rooms?
Well, they were missing, so yes.
Silvers, perhaps let him tell his story before we start interrogating him.
Right, I suppose he might know something useful.
He just blinks, trying to not show the that he's being emotionally slapped right now. Right. So, as far as I could tell, everything's pretty normal within the house. I did notice that a cabinet is missing, however. One in your living room. There was like a wardrobe cabinet there last time I visited.
And you just noticed on a scheduled visit of some sort that they weren't here?
Well, actually, I was just on my way to visit them. I've been traveling for quite a while, see.
Piper, quick question. That
Yeah.
cabinet,
Yeah.
does Silverus notice it's gone?
If you go
Or is
into
it like-
this room and notice it, like you guys have like a portable like jacket closet that you guys brought with you.
Okay.
And like if you go into this room where it normally is, it's missing.
What was in there? Was it just jackets?
It was just like it was just like jackets and stuff like that. Although, well, you haven't investigated yet, so
Okay, that's fair. It's like... What else?
well, I did some investigating. I asked your neighbors, that sort of thing. They said that they saw some people putting that cabinet up into a moving carriage. And they didn't think it was suspicious because it was furniture and it was a moving carriage. So my current reasoning is they stuffed your parents in there and rode off with them.
And there
Would you
was
like some tea to help you calm down, Sylvie?
I
You
don't
motion
want-
to a tea set.
I don't want fucking tea. I want to get started.
he asked that, and there's like Isul takes that slow breath in and then the slow breath out, very much in like,
Yeah.
oh, that was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, like Alter will like put a like hand on Silver's shoulder and just kind of not try to be condescending in the way he says this, but it might come off wrong. He will put a hand on her shoulder and say, "We kind of guessed."
She is so tense. You can feel it and see it.
How about
You can
we
see
start?
the servant going, preparing a cup of tea, but then she stops when she says she doesn't want some and just drinks it herself.
Is there
I
any
want a
place
stupid
that you
fucking tea.
don't want us to go, Silverus, that you want to look at yourself?
Preferably. Now to think about it, not really for you all.
Right. And I think it's best to at least start working. And we'll just see if there's anything else that we can uncover. And without even giving Silverus an option, because she's like, okay, you're getting more, like, increasingly pissed off here. She steps aside, kind of puts her arm behind Silverus, and starts pushing her back into the hallway to start moving, and trying to give Alter this, like, very meaningful look of, like, take her. Go.
Like sends her a quick, like leans back over and sends a message just like, "Take her where? Where the fuck are we supposed to go?"
Shooing them out of the room. Okay, like, Silverus and this one need to be separated.
Right. Fucking push her towards Alder. He's like, alright, let's go into here. Let's investigate the room, see if there's any tracks of some sort.
Sounds like a plan. We'll follow Silverus.
Into this room.
So we'll step into the room to ask a few more questions of
Mhm.
Rexton without Silverus.
He will join Isul.
Rexton holds out his hand to you. Rexton Tardy. It's a pleasure, Miss.
Isul.
Shakes your hand.
And she'll shake it back and give a little kind of courteous nod and cross her arm. I know you've talked to the neighbors. Did they remember anything about the people who were moving that wardrobe?
No, they seem to have been wearing standard moving gear. You know, shirt, pants, one of those like little harnesses that you do to lift to carry big things, sort of thing. But the more interesting part is that they saw a royal watcher watching them.
A real watcher.
Think of it as secret police for the king.
The king in... What the fuck is the other country's name?
It would be this country
This
that has
country's.
the monarchy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Larsha, right?
Adrescus king.
Adrescus.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there was a royal watcher watching these moving people.
Yes, that's right.
And I'm assuming, and you have to forgive me, I've not really been in this country more than, well, past week or two that we've been traveling. Assuming that's not common.
For the most part, to my understanding, the royal watchers only, or at least these days, they have been making sure the royal affairs aren't messed up making sure that the fighting prince and princesslings play fair, that sort of thing.
So that leads you to believe that the king of this country have an interest in the Vinlands, then?
When I helped the Vinlands escape from Fidel and arrive here, I made a deal with nobility to assign a guard to them. So I have a feeling that Watcher was that guard.
And he didn't intervene if he was supposed to be helping to guard them.
If I had to guess, they probably didn't know they were in danger. After all the witness saw was two people carrying a wardrobe away. Might have been why they decided to do that.
Have you talked to him yet?
Well, the Royal Watchers aren't permitted to give information to regular civilians. For that, I have to make an appointment with their commander. Commander Bina, I believe her name is. But anyway, she hasn't been in town recently. But fortunate timing, I hear she's gotten in today. So after I met with you, I was going to go meet with her.
Well, we might need to tag along, or at least one of us might need to tag along to ask a few more questions.
Yes, of course. Whatever you need.
Has he been, like, seemingly really forthright and everything throughout this conversation?
Yeah. There's not a hint of deception.
Okay.
He's just as concerned as Silverus is, it looks like.
I'm assuming that you dropping by, even if you've been traveling, as you've said you have, I'm assuming you dropping by is not uncommon overall?
Well, I used to visit a lot more when I was younger, but I was in a sort of period of isolation for about 7-8 years, so I haven't really talked with anybody. This is actually my first meeting with them on my way home.
Isolation? Were you sick or something?
Yes, I was.
She kind of like takes a half step back to like examine him a little bit more closely. Oh, that's unfortunate. Are you well now?
Yes, I'm fit to be around people now. It took a long time to recover.
Was it really contagious?
It was very dangerous to be around me at that point. He gives Key like a head rub, like between the ears.
Who's your new servant?
This is Elena. She's been with me for about 9 or 10 years at this point.
I don't remember meeting you. It's nice to meet you, though. She'll come over and shake your hand.
She'll shake her hand very mechanically. Well, I wasn't permitted to interact with you or Lady Silverus when you two came to visit, so I'm not surprised you never met. Last time I saw you, you were about half the size you were now.
Well, I haven't seen Lord Rexton in a hot second either, so it's been a while.
I'm glad you got out of that dusty old manor, Rex says.
Yeah, same. I'm really enjoying hanging out with Sylvie again and living with her.
I hope to catch up with you soon about that. It's been a long, long time since we've sat down with drinks and snacks and had a little picnic together, huh?
Yeah. beat your butt at Super Chess. Kind of grin.
As you say that, he gets a slight smile. Oh, right. You don't know, do you?
Tilt head.
Well, I was on my way into the city when I noticed that they were holding a local Super Chess tournament.
Blinks.
During my travels, I may or may not have sent a copy of the rulebook to a publisher. They loved it.
Why?
Just thought it'd be a nice little gesture, and you have more people to play with. He blinks like, that wasn't a mistake, was it?
I'm gonna go search for clues. He looks mortified.
Isul watches her
Two,
go,
motherfucker.
and
Two.
there's just this, like, looking to the ceiling, deep breath in, fucking all the gods and dragons of this universe save me. Why am I the level-headed one here?
As he watches Healy, Rexon just visibly deflates and slumps back into a chair.
Val? Hang on,
You
turn
are
on the-
being so loud.
Margie,
right
turn on
now.
the light. Turn on the
You
light.
can hear Val.
Val? Val, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong? Why are you... Come on in. What are you... Get in here.
Screaming, "Let me in, mothers!" Pay attention to me.
He jumps in and then just jumps back towards the window.
What do you want? I fed you. You want loving? I'm gonna give you loving. Okay, no, you know what? Okay, I will leave you alone. Welcome home, Val.
It is just screaming night. That's what it is. It's just screaming night.
I go I go to pick him up, he runs away. I go to sit back down, he comes up and headbutts me.
Give me attention. No, wait, don't. But
he want you to
actually,
follow him?
Yes.
No, he's just headbutting and cuddling me now. Okay, so where did I leave off? Oh yeah,
Oh.
Rexon was deflating, and he's like, not quite how I planned this to go, but
Isul just slowly looks back to him. I do think there's a lot of conversations that are probably going to happen here
Sure.
shortly.
yeah, it seems that way.
But, at the very least, you're not nearly as much of a dick, at least thus far, as I assumed you might be.
I'm sorry that you say I'd be what?
As much of a dick as I assumed you might be.
I guess I do deserve that one, don't I?
There's...
He is trying to just breathe calmly. Well, is there any other questions I can help you with?
She kind of like watches him for a second and then looks towards the servant and then looks back at him. Are you sure that you're okay?
Well, I was hoping this reunion, despite the issues, would be a lot better, but well, I'll be fine.
Then she kind of like lifts her head for a second. I think your lord might need a little bit of that tea. She like says like kind of to the side to the servant and looks back towards Rexton.
You asked her for some tea.
Well, she said that that Rexton looks like he needs some tea.
Oh. She looks to him. He can get him himself. At that, he looks to her, and they make eye contact for like 15 seconds before she sighs and goes over to make him another cup.
Isolde just like looks towards her when she says that and watches this, and then smirks. Well, I like her.
Oh boy. We'll cut to the investigation squad. Both of you roll me your investigation.
Does Silver's get advantage because she fucking lives here?
Yes.
Hell yeah. I'm like, what do you mean you know where everything is? I fucking live here.
I don't think Alter's gonna do well at all. And since Silver's already has investigation, or already
Wait,
has advantage on her check,
I have a +1 total. Please help.
I have a -1. Fuck do you think Alter's gonna do aside from give you advantage?
Just go ahead and
Yes,
roll
this
since she
floor
has
looks like
advantage.
floor.
Just in
He
case.
He
Just
is
roll.
gonna roll, but I'm preparing for a low roll
I
because
really want you to beat Silver's score.
Nope.
I rolled 2 13s.
I rolled a 10. 2 and 9 total.
Well, I was looking for a 15.
You could add them
She's
together.
a little distracted at the moment.
She's a little distracted.
I was
She
gonna
is
say
visibly
Alter's
tense and pissed off.
Alter's also very distracted because Silver's is very tense and pissed off.
Fucking
So-
is he still gonna have to do this fucking investigation? Everybody's pissed off.
Listen, the fucking dice, okay?
I was preparing my excuse for Alter's behavior well before this roll. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Silver's, the only thing you notice is that there are like
Hey, Hazel.
jackets roaming, like thrown all over the place.
Fucking jackets.
All the jackets that should be in the wardrobe.
Where did he run
yeah.
off to?
What?
Oh, you went up to. Okay.
Okay. There's nothing.
And Alter, you don't know what to look for, so you're here for emotional support.
He's
does
honestly
she
not
need it?
really looking that hard and
Yeah.
is looking like more or less just watching Silverus comb
Yeah.
the room. And about 2 or 3 minutes into the like investigation, he'll just comment, "Well, I can see why some of your feelings are certainly pointed towards him."
Is that really what you want to talk about right now?
Key, would you like to roll your investigation?
Well,
I'm trying to look for some clues on where.
no, you're right. I do have a desire to talk about it, but it is not the issue right now.
You haven't been here in a long time, Key.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, so you wanna save the day?
Fucking Isul doesn't have a plus anything to this.
Let's see it.
But she walks out and rolls better than y'all. I swear to God.
Can I cast a spell?
Fucking goddamn
Hey,
it.
she made it. So you're like, huh, it's taking them a while. I wonder what's going on. So you walk into the den. Silverus and Alter are arguing. You briefly look around. You go upstairs looking for Key. She's looking underneath a pillow.
It's a cat plushie.
So
Increasingly loud, like going from walking normally to like starting to stomp through this fucking house. Like I am surrounded by morons.
So, as you look around, you notice that there are no signs of a struggle. There's nothing out of place. There's no beat glass, no nothing. There's no evidence at all. And a professional like you knows that the fact that there is no evidence is evidence. Whoever did this had to have been professional, because somebody sloppy would have left way more shit.
Can I see if there's any areas that seem to be, like, worryingly clean?
So the only place that would alert you would be the treasure chest / wardrobe that is conspicuously missing from like the corner of the room. You can still see like the dust outline of it.
Okay. So she just stepped inside the den, noticed that, but went and looked for Key to see where Key was to make sure she wasn't doing anything. Just like, Key, you're not going to find anything in the bed. Come back downstairs.
Oh, I know. She comes downstairs though.
Heads back into the den, pushes past and in between the other two to get them to fucking focus, and goes and stands in the empty spot. If the two of you would stop getting distracted and stop talking about whatever it is that you're arguing about, and don't tell me you're not arguing, because you are, you'd notice, full confidence that the two of you have enough brain cells to rub together to notice. Whoever took your parents, because they have been taken, was not your everyday criminal.
Okay, well, how do you know that, some party pants? Go on, show us your work.
Because the house looks like the way the Syndicate would look. They were trying to grab somebody and not be caught.
You don't think...
Don't know. I don't have any reason to think it is, but somebody of at least the same skill level. And Lord Rexton said that whoever it was did themselves up to actually look like moving workers. Which means it was planned. On top of everything. How much do you know about the Royal Watches, Silvers?
What does Silvers know about the Royal Watches?
Basically what Rexton told them. They report to the commander, who then reports to the king. They only deal with royal affairs, which right now is making sure the princes and princesses don't kill each other in their vie for the throne.
So is there
Their
not a
hands are-
king right now, or is it just like...
There is a king, but basically some odd years ago, the king's like, okay, we're going to handle the succession crisis before I die. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you each a plot of land, and you guys can fucking duke it out for who gets to be successor.
That... Smart.
Mm-hmm. Silver should just relay that information. I assume she did not know that her family was being watched.
Yeah, Rexton wouldn't have told you that.
Would not
Would
have?
wouldn't-
Actually, yeah. You can know if you want to know, but you can also not know if you don't want to know. That's
I
what I'm trying to
assume
say.
she doesn't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Rexton
just
told
regurgitates-
Isul that he got them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He told Isul. Silvers is just unaware. She just regurgitates the copy-paste information of what they are. It's like, what about it?
Oh, the one that was assigned to your family apparently saw the movers. The fact that he didn't do anything, imagine, means he didn't know there was anything wrong, but he might have more information.
The one assigned to my What are you talking about?
Isul just, like, stares for a second, realizes Silvers is serious, And facepalm. I swear to God. Apparently there was some deal for the Watchers to keep an eye on you and your family. And before you start getting upset about that, because I imagine you're about to get upset, it might be the only lead that we have, so it's actually a blessing in this moment.
Just wish I was aware of it.
Also, not that it matters much, Rexton does not appear well.
What are you talking about?
Looks
You were just
towards
Done.
Key, because Key was there to hear the, like, I was sick. And looks back towards Silverus. He claimed he was sick for a long period, and, well, the stress of even talking to the two of you and upsetting you seems to knock him off of his feet.
well, that's unfortunate for him.
Is he okay? Like, I know he said he was sick, but he said he was doing better, right?
Don't know. You might be doing better and still recovering. I wasn't going to ask. But, at least until we have located your family, maybe hit above the belt.
It wasn't even the way I was hitting below the belt. I was just talking. You're not as if I'm ever nice to anyone.
Oh, you're nice to people. I think you just don't always see the reactions people have.
We understand you're very driven to find your family, and we'll help you as best we can. That's really the end of it. My end.
Right, so we should keep investigating. I don't understand why we're here talking about Rexton's feelings.
Because we're going to have to work with him. He's going to help us talk to the commander of these Watchers or whatever.
This is true, he is a resource.
Right, you act as if I'm going to attack him.
Isul just, like, looks her over. I'm assuming she is still pretty tensed and defensive.
Well, yeah. But, like, she's like, I'm not going to fucking attack him.
Just this, like, arch of the eyebrow.
Oh.
And Isul does not say anything, just starts heading to the door.
I'm going upstairs.
Head back over to Rexton.
She's not.
Follow
going
Silvers.
fucking- She's going upstairs. She's like, stop, I'm not gonna go fucking talk with Rexton.
Yeah.
You've got a shadow.
Yeah, usually, it's a weird parallel. Usually she's the one following him.
Seeing you come back, Rexton stands up. Well, shall we make our way to the castle then? I don't think Silverus wants to be around me right now.
Isul just, like, takes a slow breath, and did Key follow Silverus, or is Key just chilling where she is on the map?
I have a cat on my arm. So I can't reach my computer.
Just, would you go upstairs with Silverus, or would you stay with Lord Rexton?
And Isul.
And Isul.
go talk and do the plot.
Yeah, plot probably.
So Isul.
He,
Go
he
ahead.
and Isul will be the bigger siblings here.
I'm just like, to be fair, she just went to go run upstairs.
Alder's helping.
Val, please.
Isul just like looks back through the doorway, sees Key is still there, looks towards Rexton. Are you going to be well enough to handle all of this?
Oh, yes, I will be fine, don't worry. He stands up and he dusts himself off, and he holds his hand out next to him, and the maid tosses like a belt with a rapier and what appears to be like a magical focus on it, and he attaches it to his belt. Right. I guess it's just the four of us then.
Takes a step out into the hallway, looks up the stairs. Doesn't see Silverus. Is like, okay, I'm not diving into that.
To be fair, I only meant for Sylvester to go run to her room real quick.
Alder's helping you look.
There
Yeah,
are
he
no-
thinks you're just gonna stay behind.
She went up to the attic. Why is only Silver's token here?
Because you were leading them.
Oh.
Okay, so but you are coming down with them, right?
Yeah, she just went
Okay.
up to her room because she got
Okay.
frustrated. And she's like, fuck this, I'm going to my room for a second.
You hear the
Okay.
front door opening, and you're like, fucking goddamn it! You have to run all the way back downstairs.
No, fucking... She... So I'll just like fucking follows her, just fucking stalking up the fucking stairs, pulls out a ladder to the attic, climbs up the attic, gets into her
Oh.
room.
Come on, I just got to the... Gets up,
And-
starts walking upstairs.
Fucking, yeah, she'll go to her room, which is, decorated and stuff, and she's gonna start rifling through her fucking books and shit.
Helen looks to all of you as you begin to walk out. So, how long have you been at Glen together?
Oh, yeah, where's Helen?
Yeah, you said Helen,
Helen.
but I'm assuming you meant
Oh.
Rex.
Yeah.
God damn it. I was thinking about Helen's reactions to stuff, so brain puzzled.
Don't worry, as soon as Silver sees everyone walking down the fucking pathway, she'd fucking god damn it, and she'd fucking climb out and jump out of the fucking attic window, honestly. And to join them.
Fuck all you... Oh, for God.
She'd just
Climbs out
grab
after
the
her.
grab the fucking gutter and railing. She's done this a million fucking times, and just quickly slides down while they're walking out. She's like a minute behind them.
Alder's like 10, 15 seconds behind her.
Yeah, so no, go ahead. She'll just join you guys in a minute.
Okay.
Isul just keeps pace with Rexton, letting him kind of set the pace. Because she's still kind of like, something's off with this guy.
I don't know
Just-
either.
Just gives a little shrug. A few months now. Key, a little bit less time than that.
Looks sticky. Any terribly exciting missions?
We went to a city that was frozen over and
Wow.
helped solve that.
I never expected either of you to join a clan. What does Silvers do? Does she play for the party? She's an excellent bard, you know.
But
Yeah, she's quite skilled at music. But she used to play while he danced. It's quite heartwarming to watch, actually.
Isul just like looks around him to Key to like, is this shit true?
She kind of does the nervous thing of putting your hand behind your head and just like nods. Yeah, she hasn't really had much of a chance to play lately.
a rather deft hand with a rapier. It's usually how she contributes.
Huh. So she actually decided to learn the rapier again. That's interesting. Last I left her, she could barely hold it up all right. And he laughs.
I would not bring up that memory.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that. Indirect ear contact of Silverus.
What about you?
Well, see-
Do you?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I thought you were saying that Silvers was there, and I was like, she's behind with them, from them. I thought.
She is further back, but like that was just Isul. Like he's trying to connect with like, oh, fond memories, and Isul's like, maybe you don't want to say those things right now.
That's fair. So what were you saying, Key?
What about you? You still practice rapier? You see rapier?
Well, I am signed up as a fixer, but I haven't really done much work yet.
Fixer.
I do keep up.
You're a fixer?
I am signed up as one.
Solo work then.
You're not. But like I said, I haven't done many jobs yet.
Forgive me for asking. I'm not exactly sure the exact politics of most of these countries, to be honest. Are you not a lord in Larsha?
No, I'm Lord Infidel.
Fidel?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I meant to say. I don't fucking remember these.
No, I understand.
Are you not a lord in Fidel?
Yes, that's right.
And yet you still feel the need to become a fixer?
Well, it's more if I need to do fixer work, like for example, while I'm out during travels. But just because I'm a lord doesn't mean I have to completely rely on my family's pocketbooks. Try to make my own way as time goes on.
And you're still a lord, considering your absence of the past few years?
Well, my family does know I'm alive, and they are very nice people, so I don't think I've been disowned. I guess we'll see when I go visit them after we're done with this. Gives a nervous laugh.
So you stopped here before you went to go see your own family?
He nods.
May I ask exactly what was wrong with you?
He kind of stiffens a little bit. Well, the explanation I gave was pretty much the truth. I was sick, but there's something inside of me that I couldn't risk getting out. So I went to make sure it couldn't.
What is
Cryptic shit is
that?
that?
What does that mean? You're not making much sense.
It's very complicated, Key. But suffice it to say for now, it was serious enough that... Well, it was serious enough that I cut ties with everybody and made my way elsewhere.
You speak like that was a parasite.
That's actually quite a apt word for it.
And
And
is
you
this
can hear a snuff from the maid next to you.
and is this parasite gone or just handled?
Handled. I don't think I'll ever be quite rid of it. And I'm sure that's why Sylvie's mad at me. And honestly, she has every right to be mad at me. I didn't have much time to say goodbye before I left, so I sent her a message saying that I wouldn't be able to talk to her for a while, and she's probably mad that I did that. And he just kind of slumps his shoulders again.
And that's a conversation you're going to have with her.
It doesn't seem like she wants to have that conversation with me.
To be fair, Silvers doesn't want to have most conversations that she needs to have.
It's very surprising to see her like that. She's very different from the Sylvia I know. But I guess time does change people. Oh, it looks like we're here. And by it looks like we're here, you guys spent the last hour traveling just outside the city to where there is a large motherfucking castle in front of you. He goes up to the guard and says that he's here for his appointment with Commander Vina. They get out for a bit. They come back. They let you into the castle, which I don't have a map for currently, so y'all are gonna have to tough it out and use the aid of the mind. But they take you to a library room, and sitting on a table, or not sitting on a table, but sitting by a table. Where is my D&D?
Mind.
Yeah, I imagine you definitely would have caught it by the time we got to the castle.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure.
Is Silver's just like in a do not fucking talk to me kind of mood?
Probably not, honestly.
A woman dressed in a fine black and gold outfit with long black hair that's curved to one side, with the tips of it being very long and highlighted blonde. You see, as she looks at you, you get the feeling that you're being quickly assessed, as if you're getting your measure taken all at once. Would you care for some black tea?
Who's she talking to?
Just all of you.
Just to confirm, Alter Silver's caught up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Silvers will raise her hand. Yes.
She goes over to where she has a very intricate tea making setup. She pours the leaves and begins to boil the water in. There's different people call black tea different for various different things. She says that she hands it up to you. Most people call black tea red tea because when steeped in leaves, the water turns the leaves red. Some people say that it's black tea because of the agony of it. Everybody has their own understandings when it comes to it. Here.
Thank you.
Are you the commander?
That is one title of which people call me. You can just call me Vina.
Vina. Can you type that out for us?
Yeah, key spell. Add an H. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here. Okay.
Right.
Just making sure that I was hearing what I thought I was hearing correctly. We have a few questions. We're concerned about somebody that one of your watchers is keeping an eye on.
I have more or less I more or less know what it is you seek, but feel free to ask.
What is it that you think we seek?
Well, last I checked, a certain watcher reported to me about an incident within the Vinland household. Or rather, the Vavis household, I guess it should be known here.
What do they know about the situation?
I've been informed of a potential kidnapping.
Performed of a potential kidnapping?
Informed.
Informed.
She looks to Silvers. What do you make of the situation?
Someone took them, and from what others have gathered, professionals.
I see. So that is what you think. She takes a long, drawn-out sip. We've been investigating the moving company. They've been reported having their equipment stolen about 2 months back. And we suspect that there is an issue of sorts among there. It seems like there is a long string of kidnappings recently.
Kidnappings of people of note, or just kidnappings vaguely in general?
Well, at first, I didn't think it was related. Have you heard of the Salika Wood?
Would I have heard of the Salika Wood?
You
No,
would.
it won't.
No.
Who would know about it? Would any of us know about it?
You and Key have the largest chance to know about it. I'll let you roll a history check.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey.
Of course I know about this. I had to write a report on it in high school.
Yeah. So the Salika Wood, I'll just take you guys to the world map real quick.
Yeah, like I remember seeing it on the map, but
Yeah.
So Salika Wood is all the way to the bottom left. It is a dense forest, and by dense I mean it is so dense it blackens the sky. And it is also known because this is largely in part where Vieira come from.
we're gonna go meet your family, Key.
Extended family, possibly.
Lately, the Salika Wood has been attacking the nearby monastery. We believe this is as a result of outrage.
Outrage for what?
Well, the wood itself only moves to attack if the Vieira have been threatened. In fact, about 3 weeks ago, we received a message saying that there was a mass kidnapping of young Vieira children. And in retaliation, the forest is attacking a nearby monastery.
When you say the forest is attacking, do you mean the trees?
Yes, that's correct. The Salika Wood is a very dense place, heavy in magic. It protects the Vieira village inside, so should anything happen to their people, the wood itself attacks. Right now, the nearby monastery is completely covered in vines. In fact, nothing can get in or out of that area right now.
So there's kidnapping of the Vieira children in the Salika Wood. There's the kidnapping of the Vavis family. And you make it sound like there's others.
It is mostly them. The danger is the monastery right now. There's at least 30 people trapped inside. One of which is Princess Ophelia, fifth princess to the throne. Hence my involvement. I actually just came back from there.
And do you think all of this is connected?
Well, we suspect that, at the very least, the method of operation is the same. Moving carts, kidnapping. There's no other leads. That might as well be this one.
So the trees kidnapped the family?
The trees are attacking in retaliation for their family being kidnapped.
But there's no other leads to who could kidnap?
No, that's all we have so far. I will admit it is a wild speculation to believe that the two are connected, but it is the only lead I have right now. What do you make of it?
If it's young Vieira being kidnapped, I'd know what I would bet they're being kidnapped for. It's a different matter when you have two Elzen.
Young Vieira.
I guess we have to go investigate the woods.
You don't suppose that the current Lord Vinland has anything to do with this, do you?
No proof, but it
No
makes
proof,
sense.
Of course, there's no proof.
Anyway, you won't have to investigate because my watcher placed a tracker in the carriage.
The carriage that took the Vegas family.
Yes.
And where is it? Where did it go?
Could have led with that.
It's important to know the details before going into action. She pulls out a map of Adreska, and she pulls out a piece of paper, and it seems to have like a magic circle on it. And as she tosses it over the map, she whispers like a magic command word, and the magic circle glows to life and hovers over the map before making an X.
Can we see the map?
Oh, I thought I moved you there. My apologies.
Hey. More
Where is that?
mountains.
What's
Wonderful.
that called?
That is a mountain range that used to be a line of defense back when Nim's territory was a lot shorter. It doesn't have a name, as far as I recall.
What's there? I don't see any cities around it, so there's a good possibility that they might still be there.
Is this area known to be a hideout of any particular groups?
Well, we have caught bandits there before, but not any one particular place. It is a vast swath of mountain. So they could be anywhere within that place.
Does that tracker get any more detailed if you're closer to it?
Within a certain amount of feet, yes.
Amount of feet. As in within 100 feet or a couple hundred?
I believe it gets closer at 300 and then 200 and then 1.
Can we have the tracker?
She flicks the sheet of paper towards you.
Thank you.
Did your watcher notice anything else of interest?
No, That is all that he reported to me.
No numbers or relative health of these attackers or potential attackers?
There were 2 of them. They seemed to be of decent build. He didn't say they looked particularly strong or weak, but most of their features were hidden by the moving uniform they had took.
I'm assuming that means he also couldn't quite place a race on them either.
Didn't seem that way.
Is there any other information that we should know? Or are we free to head out?
You are free to do as you desire. I wasn't holding you in chain.
Well, no, but there might have been something you were waiting to tell us.
Or warn us to do or not to do.
Well, you are free to do as you see fit, as is all of us. So if you believe that you have the information to do what you feel that you must.
It's frustratingly cryptic.
Well, I guess we're going to either the woods or the mountains. Or what? Is there a better idea that I missed?
I think we need to discuss exactly what we're going to do. But we do thank you for your help.
Should the need for tea ever bring you back, you will be welcome.
Ace will just kind of like a little strange face, but a little nod.
She looks to Silverus. If you would accept the word of caution, somebody like me.
Of course. What?
You bear a poison with you. It is slow, it is heavy, but it is deadly all the same. Please be wary.
Can you be a bit more specific on the type of poison? Was it in the tea? What are you talking about?
When I say poison, what do you think it means?
I think it means literal poison.
I see.
You know, what the word means.
Poison can mean a lot of things. Just depends on how you look at it.
That's how you look at it. Were you a poet in another life?
There's a
Optimus looks-
soft curl of her lips.
What with all these cryptic half meanings?
If it's cryptic, it means you don't know the answer. It means you should think about it.
Or you could just spit it out.
But that would rob the chance for you to grow.
Didn't you say that this thing could kill me? Or that it will kill me? I imagine that there's not much growing I could do from that.
Have you begun hearing voices?
What kind of fucking question is that?
He ears perk up at that.
Yeah, Ace will kind of like lean forward a little bit.
Alter just like shake his head for a second and be like, did you say hearing voices?
Lack of sleep can cause delusions.
I see. So that is what you think. She takes a long sip of her drink.
That's what I know. Unless you want to just enlighten me on something.
It is my policy that one should never hinder the quest for knowledge.
quest for knowledge. I'm trying to find my fucking parents.
Then I will leave you to it.
This cryptic bullshit. Thank you for your assistance and the tracker. And I suppose thank you for the advice, if you can call it that. Hopefully we return with my parents in tow. Thank you for your time.
I wish you the best of luck.
Just gonna mutter, if you wish me the best, as she like walks. It's like, if you wish me the best of luck, you just fucking spit it out.
Do anyone else have something to ask?
No, I'm putting things together with Isul. So we'll snag Key by the elbow as they like leave and like pull her to the back of the group. Not talk to her until they get out of the castle, but pull her to the back of the group.
Hmm?
I think it would be wise to keep an eye on your sister.
Yeah. I'm kind of concerned about what that woman said.
Either of us notice anything? I think it'd be best if we made each other aware. Not sure she is going to see very clearly herself right now.
Nod.
Pat on back. Continue walking.
Okay, would you guys like to do more role playing before you leave town, or should I take you straight to the mountain range?
We have to talk about where we want to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Time to talk.
Yeah, time to talk.
I'm
Get to
assuming
town.
it's going to like
Immediately leave Toontown.
yeah, I'm assuming like the first one that's going to burst out with the question was either going to be Silverus or Alter. So that's why I didn't jump into it.
Oh yeah.
Like, where the fuck are we going? Question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, fucking
Yeah.
folding. Because I imagine like the tracker is a map, right?
Sure.
Sort of. Yeah, I don't know. You said you. I don't know what it is. So I'm just like, she just fucking
It's
rolls.
like a piece of paper with like a magic circle on it.
Oh, okay. Alright, so she'll just like tuck that away. She's like, right, well, where are we going? We could go to where the mountains are, where the carriage was, or if it is connected, which it very well might be, go straight to the monastery.
Monastery makes sense to me. I
Not
don't even know where to
But-
look at the mountains aside from just wandering around.
To be fair,
That
we do have
thing-
quite a few
Monas-
people that have alternate abilities at this point. Would make searching the mountains a little easier.
Key, what were you saying?
Well, I don't think that the monastery. I mean, that's not where your family was last kind of seen. So
That is true, but looking at the timeline, it's not completely out of the question that they could have gone to the mountains to ditch the vehicle and then gone in the opposite direction.
So I'll just say, there's nothing at the monastery for you guys. It's being attacked as a result of kidnapping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would be more of like we go to the monastery to like help like quell the
Yeah.
attack for the moment before we talk to the Vera. I think is what the plan in that direction would be.
Okay.
Because there was mention of like survivors in the monastery.
Okay. But we do have a tracker, and if they haven't been moved yet, I mean, a remote mountain range can let you hide wherever you want to hide for as long as you want.
My concern with all of this is that there is enough here to possibly link the two, but one sounds very much like slavers. The other one, I'm not quite sure. Would be out of the question for slavers to go and grab whatever isolated group of children they can manage to get their hands on, but your parents are grown Elezen, have a place in society. Those slavers wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Depends on who they're employed by. I'm just assuming this has... Oh, my uncle is behind this. And... he has acquired young Vera in the past. She says, just looking down at the ground.
He also looks very uncomfortable.
Well, I will point this out for consideration at least. It seems like the authorities already know about the situation with the monastery, so might have a better opportunity at dealing with it than we do. We came here to help you find your parents, and the monastery is not necessarily connected to that, at least not obviously yet, right? So could let them handle it.
I agree with Altair. I believe we should make our way to the mountains post haste.
Which one is that?
Rexton.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
monastery's in the
Silverface.
woods.
Yeah. Silver's just like nodding along with Alter. And Rexton says then she just fucking stops nodding. And just... Fine. I was thinking about going to the mountain range anyway, but... on the off chance that it is a red herring, it put us farther behind. But that very well could be where they are kept, and if we get close enough, then the tracker could come in handy.
We could also split up. Cover more ground.
That does
No.
make sense, Key.
Absolutely not. We are not splitting up. Do not... No. Nope, we're not.
To be fair,
You
Key,
just-
last time you split up from your sister, you were gone for like 3 months.
Key, have you forgotten how bad you are with directions? Do you
Is
have
this
any
another
help?
trap by you? Looking at Key.
I'm bad with the directions, but I would have gone with someone else. And
I just...
what do you mean trap?
You know what I mean.
What
Alter.
do you mean? You know what? It
What?
doesn't fucking matter. Are we going to the mountain range or not? We're wasting time.
I think this is your call, but I believe going to the mountain range will help you get to your parents faster.
Well then, that's where we're going. Unless anyone has any arguments against it.
Soul's got nothing.
Going once, going twice. Alright, let's go. We can stop back at my place and pick up supplies. And what time of day is it, DM?
Say it's noon.
It's noon. It's like, is this like a we supply and then leave tomorrow, or we leave now?
It's whatever you want.
It's how pressing does Silverus feel that this is? Because, yes, we're trying to rush after them, but it also took us a couple weeks to get here at
Yeah,
this point,
exactly. Yeah, so I should probably just like, right, we can get supplies, and if we leave, we should probably just leave tomorrow morning.
Too. Are you going to keep your sanity of stewing on it all night?
Of course I'm going to keep my sanity. I've been stewing on it for the past 2 weeks. Of course, nothing has changed. Now we can get supplies in the market. And then from there, head back home and rest for the evening. And head out tomorrow morning. Any arguments against that?
She just shakes her head, looks towards Helen. You have ways of turning yourself into a bird, correct?
Yes, of course.
Well, between you and Seth, and looks towards Rexton, like quizzically, like looking towards the like arcane focus that he has. And more magic?
I have some magic, yeah.
To fly, by any chance.
Can I fly? Red mage spell list.
Opens up a little mini notebook. Like,
I do
do I
have
know?
the fly spell, but that's only for an hour.
Well, an hour is better than nothing.
When we arrive there, I'll be sure to use it and try and scout out the area. Helen here. I'll go grab us some supplies for the trip.
How far are the mountains?
Like a day away.
Could we get horses to shorten the trip?
No, but you can get chocobos.
Chocobo!
I'm going to dress my chocobo as though it were a horse.
They do have barding.
There is chocobo party. There are horses, but for the most part, that is reserved for royalty.
It'd be
Of course,
rare.
the
Arachne
poors
has one,
get
and
chickens.
it's rare.
Yeah.
Blaze gets to meet a couple more big brothers and sisters.
Hey.
You brought the chicken?
Yes, I brought the chicken.
Isol's pets stay with her.
Yep.
It's the other pets that have a
Because
sleepover.
Saveth
At
actually
Alkio's
has
house.
like mechanical benefits to her, and she is like smarter. And then Blaze, she doesn't quite know what a red chocobo is, but the fact that she doesn't know makes her mildly concerned. So she's gonna make sure Blaze is as like socialized and fucking worldly as fucking possible, because she wants to make sure he's not gonna be a problem.
It's handled often and well socialized.
Is there any supplies that you guys want to run? Because Rexon's just gonna buy like rations and stuff like that.
Climbing kits.
Yeah, climbing kits.
Climbing
maybe
kits.
maybe chocobos.
Yeah, he'll rent out some chocobos for you guys.
Extra rope.
Extra rope.
Mm-hmm.
He will buy that. And I'm
Yeah.
guessing you all spend the night at Silver's house. Unless she specifically says, no, get the fuck out of my house.
No, fucking the fuck? No, we're staying here. Nowhere else can be trusted.
That's fair.
Isol claims a couch somewhere. As soon as they get inside, she's like, "Oh, we're staying here. We're staying here. Okay, my couch."
I will say that, like, I guess it makes sense. It would make sense of like, we finally get a look around the place while not in investigation mode, and like, yeah, there's a couch in the den, but like half of the den is also like essentially like there's like mannequins up, and it's like a sewing machine and like a seamstress shop. Next to the door is like masonry tools and like heavy work
Yeah.
boots.
Yes.
And there is like in the dining room there is like a little family portrait. Or like a picture essentially like, on like the shelf of like little kid Sylvie with her parents. And then like another picture later with older Sylvie, or like pretty much current Sylvie Key and her parents.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
want Isul to say something snarky, but she's not going to because Silvers is pissed off enough already.
Silverus is honestly kind of ping-ponging, like yo-yoing. Like, she's
Yeah.
a little all over the place at the moment.
Oh.
So like sometimes she's just normal Silverus, sometimes she's like really fucking pissed off and angry. Sometimes she's like fucking quiet as she like shows everyone where they're staying, gets out the extra pillows and blankets, fucking starts looking through the fridge of like what do we have, you know. You know, there's probably some like they probably just have like potato donuts on standby
Mm-hmm.
for Key in case her and Sylvie ever come home and visit.
Oh.
You know, that's part of the reason why you're so small. All you eat is potatoes.
They're yummy.
There
has a
are
point.
other vitamins in the world, you know.
Yes, but there aren't other potatoes.
Actually, there are a lot of different types of potatoes.
Oh,
That's
no.
not what I meant.
She is very well educated on the different types of potatoes and which vitamins each one has and what each one would be best in as a dish.
Nod, nod, nod.
Later towards the night, Silverus, you get a knock on your door.
Hold on. I want to say something because it matters.
Okay. Okay.
It like
Okay.
is
No
At some
midnight
point-
talkies. Not allowed.
there's a specific thing that Alter was
Okay.
going to do.
okay.
So once
Okay.
everyone beds down for the evening, Alter
Mhm.
would probably spend a minute or two, do that thing where you get up in the middle of the night and you just are restless, so you wander around. He would wander around for a little bit and end up wandering around to not like, because Silverus's room is the entire upstairs, right?
It's the attic.
The attic.
Yeah.
He-
So there's a first floor, second floor, and then there's an attic.
And the attic is accessed by like a ladder.
Like, yeah, not like a little like one of those like you pull a string and like a staircase comes down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine
So-
that like that's just like it's been pretty much fixed so that it's always down.
Alter wouldn't go up there, but Alter would sit in the room with by the like nearest wall, which I imagine is probably here-ish,
Hmm.
near the stairs, and he would be staying up either the whole night or until he passed out leaning against the wall.
Okay.
Huh. So, he's pretty much like in
So-
front of her door.
Yeah, so if someone goes to knock Silverus's door, Alter would be right there, which is
That's
why I
fine.
say that.
They have to
That's
step
fine.
over Alter to like knock on like the beam
Yeah.
of the stairs.
Yes,
She doesn't really have a door.
that is fine. You do get a knock on your door, Silverus, later towards the night.
Metaphorical door.
Your
Just
metaphor.
stepping. So whoever it is, just stepping over Alter.
Yeah.
Just probably peek around. I imagine the door is like over here,
Mhm.
essentially. So whoever just like peeks around is like, what? Who is it?
It is Rexton.
Oh, joy.
Can we talk for, please?
Looks down. She's just stepping right. He's like standing right in front of a passed out Alter. Like, is Alter passed out? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I assumed that I would make a roll for it, or I imagined
Your
that
choice.
the Alter will just be asleep.
Roll that perception.
Yeah, roll that perception if you fucking Rexton tiptoeing over him.
You can roll
DM?
perception. I will give you disadvantage for the time of night. and Mr. Aura needs to sleep, that you may roll it.
Yeah, this is an out one.
Oof. Ouch. Conked. Okay. Sees a conked out Ultra's like, what the fuck is he doing? I'll deal with it later. Just come inside before you wake him.
He nods. Nods, gets up there. He sits on a chair. And he takes a deep breath. I don't even know where to start, but is this because of the letter that I sent you?
Can you be a bit more specific, considering I'm here because of a letter?
The letter where I said I'd be able to...
You're cutting out, Piper.
The letter that said I would talk to you for the foreseeable future.
Oh, that letter! Right, how could I forget? It just slipped my mind for a moment.
I thought that might have been the issue. So he goes over to you, Silverus, and you see him drop to his knees and puts his hands on the floor. I'm very sorry.
What the fuck are you doing?
Apologizing to you.
You could apologize like a normal fucking person. What the fuck is this?
I am.
Get up. Normal people don't apologize like this.
This is actually a very common way of apologizing, actually.
By who?
Read your history book.
Last time I checked, we aren't in a history book. Stand up.
He stands up. Listen, I didn't have much time to send that to you. I would have written out a more thorough letter explaining why if I had the chance, but I had literally 5-10 minutes to write it and send it. I also had to send a letter to my family saying I was around. I simply didn't have the time to explain. But you are owed an explanation if you would like to hear it.
You know, part of me wants to tell you to fuck off and that I don't want to hear it. But what on earth could you have been fucking doing? What was so important that you couldn't spend 5 minutes, or at least warn me beforehand?
It's because I couldn't say anything. Listen,
Couldn't or
Sylvie,
wouldn't?
couldn't. Sylvie, do you remember that day 9 years ago when you almost died from drowning?
Yes, I remember.
You only remember a part of it.
Considering I was unconscious from what did they call it? Or the water in my lungs? Yes. I only remember up till that point.
He takes a long, deep breath. Sylvie, you didn't just almost die. You did die.
What are you talking about?
When I found you in the lake, you were as dead could possibly be. You were
No,
Your skin was cold. There was no heartbeat.
that's not possible. Someone got me in time and they resuscitated me. That's what happened.
No, Sylvie. You were dead. I was the first to discover you, but I didn't have any magic to revive you at the time. You know, I was only able to cast basic spells at that time. You know my skill level at the time, right?
Of course I do.
I was desperate at the time when I saw you die. I was trying to find a spell to heal you. Cure Wounds wasn't doing anything. Healing Word, none of it. I tried to
could have
do
just
the
been.
other potion.
I could have just been unconscious. There was no way that I just died. Yes, it hurt, and it.
Sylvia, you know, I know you don't have the best opinion right now, but do you believe me to be stupid?
Sometimes you are.
Bites his lip. But do you honestly think I would separate a corpse from somebody who's merely knocked out?
Well, maybe in a panicked state. We were children. How would you know what a corpse looks like?
Sylvia, you were dead.
Okay, I don't believe you, because last time I checked, the next day I was perfectly fine. But let's say hypothetically, I was dead. That me actually succeeded. How am I still alive?
I was actually getting to that part, if you don't
Why didn't
believe.
you just say it?
I'm getting to it. Okay? So, as I sat there, desperate, trying to figure out what to do, a woman approached me. She, too, was almost on her deathbed. She could barely move from how much blood she was lost. She was injured beyond repair when she approached me. And she said she had a way to bring you back, even without a Phoenix Down or a diamond. And I agreed. So she took part of my soul and shoved it into you. And used that as a catalyst to revive you.
I imagine that, like, part of this conversation, Silver's, like, stood up, and now she just hears that, she just, like, sits back down on, like, the edge of her bed. You just took a part of your soul. Your soul. You do realize that this sounds fucking insane, correct?
He nods. If you'd like, I can put down a zone of truth for you, if that would help you.
What is this with people thinking putting down Stone of Truths?
It's used as well.
It's bullshit. Alright, you know what, fine. Just do it so we can just skip a part of this.
Okay. He'll throw down a zone of truth. For brevity's sake, he'll place it on himself so you're not affected by it. And he'll say exactly what he just said to you verbatim.
You do realize that the flaw with that is that you could very much believe that, but you also could just be wrong. Because that sounds insane. There's no way that would actually work. There's no way that some woman could just take your soul out as if it was just a bandage and revive someone with it.
It is possible if you have. And I used part of my soul to revive you, Sylvie. But it came at a cost besides half my soul.
Besides half your soul, what other cost could there be? Isn't that an expression, selling your soul away?
She possessed me.
She what?
She possessed my. Whatever soul of me was still there, she filled it with her own.
And what did she do? Or did she just stick around? I don't understand. Why would she do? You were 10.
She was dying, so she saw an easy way to get a body that she could use.
What did she do? What did she do?
She killed us. She used me to kill
To kill who?
people, random passerby at night. Have you heard of the Blood Red Night, Sylvie?
Has Silvers heard of Blood Red Knight?
I mean, yeah, it's a legend at this point.
Okay. That was infamous. Are you saying you had something to do with that?
I'm saying that was me.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't. No. The person inside me would.
How long? That happened. But you seemed fine whenever I saw you.
Because whenever you were close to me, my soul kept that part of her down. But at night, she would possess my body and she would feast on people's blood. She would rip out people's veins and use people as puppets. All for her amusement. Silvers,
Rex.
I've killed a lot of people. Do you want to know how many I've killed? Because I've kept count.
You kept count? Why would you do that?
Because she kept count. It was like a trophy for her.
Rex, what? Why didn't you tell me? I could have. I don't
You
know. I
barely
could have.
believe me now, Sylvie.
Well, that's just.
Hi,
Hypothetically.
Sylvie. I'm your best friend, Rex. Oh, I have a murderer in me. It's not exactly something you could lead with. And my parents were scared as hell too.
Well, maybe. Ever thought that maybe I would have believed you? You were my best friend, Rex. I've known you since what? I don't fucking know.
I didn't want to risk you getting hurt, Sylvie.
But if I could have been near you and it could have suppressed it, we could have avoided this. Why didn't you just tell me?
My parents forbade it. They didn't want anybody else to know what I had become. And he looks down.
Okay, well, is this still an issue? Do I have to stick near you before you go killing everyone in the city?
So, the reason why I left suddenly is because I was defeated. I was defeated by a very powerful fixer known as the Black Silence. And they also killed the woman that she was responsible for previously injuring. When she found out that the killing had resumed, she came back and I don't know how she did it, but she gave me a large measure of control for it. And for these past 7 years, I've been training with her to learn how to control it. She forbade contact, and I had 5 minutes to explain. So I wrote what I wrote and got dragged off for training.
And you had no idea about the training at all. This was just very sudden.
Well, I asked her to train me, but that was a process in and of itself.
Process.
And by that, I mean I had to ask her 38 times and track her all the way throughout most of Fidel in order to get her to accept the stories I could tell you of the things I had to do to convince her.
Right. But if you're trying so hard, why couldn't you have warned your family? Or even me? But more so your parents that you were trying to get to training. That way the quick little letter after of just, hey, I'm in training, I can't talk anymore, could have been a lot more simpler.
It could have. I mean, in hindsight, I realize I should have wrote like
You
a
know-
pre-letter before seeking training. And listen, I wasn't thinking straight, and I had to follow her, so I didn't exactly have time for letter writing. You know.
And you tracked her across the country.
Yeah. She moves around a lot, so I couldn't exactly sit in place. But after she accepted, I got what letters I could out to my family, to you, to friends. And again, I only had maybe 10 minutes to write.
10 minutes to write and send letters. Well, that explains your atrocious handwriting. I mean, I knew your calligraphy was awful since you were young, but that
better
was just
than yours.
atrocious. What'd you say?
It's better than yours.
Excuse me? How many times? I was the one who got perfect marks in all the classes.
I seem to recall that was key, actually. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But listen, if I had more time, I would have explained what was going on. But I didn't, and I'm very sorry for that. And all I can do now is just ask you to forgive.
Well, this is a lot to take in. And I'm only humoring this because you're still standing in that little circle of truth, and I'm not lying to you, Silverish. Trust me, circle.
Yeah.
Saying is true. Don't know what to think.
Well, if you want proof, you can talk to Elena,
What would she know about this?
because she's the Blood Red Knight.
You should have fucking let. Are you kidding me? She's here. Where is she? Where's Key? Where's Otto and Isul? Is she
She
in the same
won't be.
vicinity of them?
Calm down, Sylvie. I wouldn't.
You wanted me
have,
to calm down when she
I
killed.
wouldn't have allowed them near her if I couldn't handle it. Like I said, when the Black Silence did what she did, she gave me a measure of control. She's docile now, for lack of a better word.
A measure of control. If she snaps and she hurts Key or Otto, or
If she snaps, I will know. She's still
You'll
a
know.
part of me. And I can control her now. That is why I went into training for 8 years now.
Yes, but what if she has it 1 second? Imagine the damage she could fucking do to them.
I
If
would
it took a fixer to take her down.
Because if I die, so does she, and if I sense for a second that she would do any one of you, I would kill him.
What's on. Jesus fucking Christ, Rex.
I would not let any of you go into danger like that. I wouldn't have even called you here if I didn't know for a fact that I could control it.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't take a stupid fucking tea.
Like I said, she's more or less docile. So she
Doesn't
wouldn't
change the
try.
fact of what she did.
I agree. She is a monster, and if she is ever not within 100 feet of me, please kill her.
What happens if she's far away from you?
If she's far away from me, that means I'm dead.
What's stopping her from just wandering off?
She can't. Our souls are connected. So she can only be a certain radius away from me. It's like
But-
an invisible rope between us.
But you just said that if you die, then she dies too. What if she's away from you? That means you're dead.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
How does
maybe
that work?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know the exact magic of it, all right? But that them's the rules.
Maybe you should learn these fucking rules. Lives are at stake here.
Well, maybe the DM didn't think of anything else. Okay? You think of that? Huh? I didn't think so.
If I die, she dies. If she's away, if she's more than 100 feet away, she's alone. That means I'm dead. Wait a second.
Listen, don't think about it much, okay? Suspend your disbelief, okay? Can you do that for me, Sylvie? Can you I've obtained meta powers.
Suppose I'll ignore the plot hole.
Thank you.
This is the DM starting to drown.
What I wanted to
So-
talk to you about. And there was one last thing. He
What
reaches
else could that be?
nothing serious anymore. He reaches into his coat and he pulls out like a small thin box and he hands it to you. I made this as a nice to see you again present. You don't have to open it right now. I wanted to make something to commemorate us meeting again. Granted, it didn't go exactly how it was planned.
Deadass thought it was about to be a ring, and I was like, no big deal. It's not important.
You don't have to open it right now if you don't want to, but I did make it myself. I hope you can open it and treasure it.
She's already opened it.
Okay. Inside is a crystallized lavender rose.
Like,
You can tell that it is a rose that has been plucked from the Vinland estate back home in Fodel, and there has been so much ether into it that it has been crystallized. You can, like, if you lean in, you can still smell it.
I imagine that he gave her the box and he went on to spiel like, you don't have to open it now, but it was to commemorate. She's already like opened it and is looking at it. She's taking it out and she
You
like looks
now
at us.
have something in your journal, Amy.
Okay. She's like, saw a rose. Where the fuck? Where? Oh, there it is. At the top. Okay. You gotta organize your shit.
Where, Piper? Where?
Where?
I refuse.
But she fucking sees it. She's like, oh, a rose. She picks it up. She's like, wait a second. The Venlin Estate roses are very particular that they have like a slight ombre to them if you know where to look.
Yeah.
She like looks at it. Is this from the garden?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get it?
I snuck into the estate. We were by Fodel one day, and I decided to make something of it. I hope you like it.
Well, it means a lavender rose from my family's estate, of course. It's immaculate. That's par for the course. Put it back in the box.
Well, I wish you good night, son.
Good night. Good night, Rex. But, you know, I really hope that I wake up and this is all just some fucked up demented dream induced from stress.
He's starting to walk down, and he's like, trust me, I've been wishing that past. And he just disappears. I think we'll end our session there for tonight.
Oh boy.
So we should, like, fucking put the rose away. She's about to go to bed, and then she remembers, oh yeah, Ultra's sitting on the fucking floor by her stairs.
Yeah,
Like-
he's asleep in the traditional samurai like sleeping pose where he's got the family sword tucked from one end in his lap to propped on his shoulder, and he's nodded off.
She probably remembers, like, goes down, peeks down. She's like, she's a rogue. I imagine she's silent when she wants to be.
Mhm.
And just like, well, I can't fucking move him. I'm not even going to try. However, goes up, gets like pillow from her fucking room and
Aw.
blanket.
Aw.
Aw.
Yeah. I'm just like, this fucking dumbass.
Okay, good session.
Yeah, good session.
Oh,